Hello everyone and welcome once again to MJ's Maths and Stats. That's MJ Magic Studio to you. I'm your host, your host and always in the ghost mode, Mohit Jain. Okay, hello everyone and welcome once again to Infosys practice session, and this time we would be dealing with section 1. Section 1 is reasoning ability test where 15 questions would be given and we need to answer that in 25 minutes, and in today's session we have taken up set 3. These 15 questions are combinations from data interpretation, data sufficiency, deductive logic or syllogisms, and abstract reasoning like statement conclusion and statement inference, statement action type question. From these 4 topics, they would be asking 15 questions which need to be answered in 25 minutes. The drill is very simple. As question will be there on the screen, try to solve yourself and then look out for the solution. So on this happy note, let's begin now. So the first one itself is from statement and implicit explicit conclusion type. Of all the laptops sold in India, the HP brand has the largest sale. Of all the laptops sold, HP brand has the largest sale. Based on the above statement, the following assumptions had been made. This statement can be based on which of the following assumption? The sale of all laptops in India is known. Unless and until the sale of all laptops in India is known, nobody can say that of all the laptops sold in India, the HP brand has the largest sale. That means this is implicit. The manufacturing of no other laptop in India is as large as HP. Now the second statement is about manufacturing in India. Not necessary. This assumption not necessarily be implicit because the statement is only related to sale in India and not about manufacturing and not about manufacturer rather. So out of these two, only statement 1 is implicit as far as the assumption is considered. For the conclusion of all the laptops sold in India, the HP brand has the largest sale. I'll go with only assumption 1 is implicit, option C. Again, a statement, conclusion, implicit, explicit type example. Assumptions. Statement. Medicine dopamine is a drug which can cause anxiety and shortness of breath. It is a drug, good or bad we don't know. If it is being taken, it can cause anxiety and shortness of breath. Now the assumptions are no other drug can cause anxiety and shortness of breath is not implicit. Because statement doesn't say that medicine dopamine is the only drug which can cause anxiety. We can't have this assumption that no other drug can cause anxiety and shortness of breath. Second assumption is medicine dopamine is a very good drug. How character of a drug can be in the assumption to give this kind of statement that medicine is a drug which can cause anxiety and shortness of breath? Who will assume that it's a very good drug, that's why it is giving anxiety and shortness of breath? Both the assumptions are not implicit. Neither assumption 1 or 2 are implicit. Option A is the pick. Okay, question from data sufficiency. In data sufficiency kind of question, a question is there which need to be answered with help of given statements. Statement 1, statement 2, generally they give two statements. We are not supposed to find the answer. We are supposed to just see whether we are able to answer it or not. Let's see the question. Question is, which of the following statement would be sufficient to determine whether, question is, whether 18 divides a positive integer x, or is x divisible by 18? A number is said to be divisible by 18 only when it is divisible by both 2 and 9. This is the rule for 18. A number is divisible by 18 only when it is divisible by both 2 and 9. So we are looking out for statement which says that whether they are divisible by 2 or 9 or not. Statement 1 says x is divisible by 3. This gives us no conclusion, because if x is divisible by 3, it doesn't mean that it is divisible by 18. That means statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Now statement 2 says x is divisible by 9, but again it doesn't say anything about 2. That means statement 2 alone is also not sufficient to answer the question whether 18 divides positive integer x or not. Now let's combine these two. If I combine both the statement, then I come to know that x is divisible by 3, x is divisible by 9, but still data about whether x is divisible by 2 or not is not available with us. That means both statements combined also is not sufficient enough to give us the answer. Then what should be our option choice? Statement 1 and 2 together are not sufficient to give the answer. Option A is the pick. Okay, the most easiest section in section 1, the most easiest subsection of section 1 is questions from data interpretation. It would be a line diagram, a pie chart like this one which you are seeing on the screen, or tables, and simple question would be asked. Like this is the pie chart. Percentage of everything is given. The pie chart given shows the percentage distribution of Netflix users in different countries. If the total number of users are 12 lakh, then what is the total number of Indian user? India, we can see it as 30%. That means Indian users are 30% of 12 lakhs. 12 into 3 is 36. 3.6 lakhs should be the answer. 3.6 lakhs is in option B. Mark, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, another one from data interpretation again, and a table is given. A college has 4 blocks of CSE students, namely block 1, block 2, block 3 and block 4. The result of MST1, MST here means mid-semester test, 1 and 2 of students in each block are shown in the table. How many students are there in the CSE department? Means total number of students in block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. Let's see what is given. Results is been divided into 4 parts. Student failed in both. Student failed in 1 but passed in 2. Number of student passed in 1 but failed in both. Failed in the second one. And student passed in both MST. Suppose this is number of students in block 1. These are number of students failed in MST 1. These are number of students who have failed in MST 2. And the area outside these 2 circles are the number of students who have passed in both. So if I take for block 1, number of students who have passed in both is 40. Now, student failed in both MST is 20, the common area, failed in both 1 and 2. Then failed in 1 means this first circle, but passed in 2. But passed in 2. And that is 30. So they have failed in 1, but they have not failed in 2. That means this portion only, 1 only should be 30. Passed in 1 but failed in 2, this should be 50. Passed in 1 but only failed in 2. So we can see that total number of students in block 1 is nothing but adding up all the 4 values. That's it. We need to add up everything, and that will be the answer, the total number of students in the college. 50, 50, 100, 120, 200, 270, 282. This is 80, 90, 100, 130, 97, 12, 13, 1, 10 and 17, 173, 130, that is 5, 15, 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 585 total number of students in the college in CSE department. Option A is the pick. Okay, the next one is from deductive logic syllogisms, where 3 statements are given, and based on those 3 statements, 2 conclusions are given. We need to identify which conclusion follows from those statements. And the best way to solve these kind of question is, of deductive logic, use Venn diagrams. Use Venn diagrams. That will make life pretty easy. So given below are 3 statements followed by 2 conclusions. You have to take the given statements to be true, even if they seem to be at variance from popularly known facts. Choose the most appropriate option for the given conclusion that logically follows. With help of logical Venn diagrams, we will see. All books are pencils. If I say these are books, then all books belongs to another set of pencils. All books are pencils. All bed sheets are pencils. We can also do like this. All bed sheets are also pencils. All fruits are bed sheets. So let me draw this again. We have got fruits. All fruits are bed sheets. Then we can draw like this. We can have books, and all these are under pencils. We can have many different type of logical Venn diagrams set it up here. We can have common area with books and bed sheets also. So now, conclusion. Some pencils are bed sheets. Some pencils are bed sheets is correct. All bed sheets are pencils. That means some pencils are bed sheets. Some pencils are books. Some pencils are also books. That is also correct. All books are pencils. That means some pencils are book. That means both the conclusion are true. That has been followed logically from the given statement. Both conclusion 1 and conclusion 2 are true. Mark on option A. Okay, let's see what we have here. It is data sufficiency. Billy is standing in a queue outside an ATM. Which of these statements are necessary to find the number of people in the queue? Statement 1 says Billy is standing at 10th position from the left hand side. Suppose this is left. So he is standing at 10th position. But this says that there are 9 people in front of Billy, but it doesn't say how many people are there behind him. That means statement 1 alone is not sufficient to answer the question. Now statement 2 says Billy is standing on the 9th position from the right hand side. From the right hand side, his position is 9th. But it means that there are 8 people behind him. But how many people are there in front of him, we don't know by using statement 2 alone. If we use statement 2 alone, Billy is standing on the 9th position from the right hand side, but how many people are ahead of him, we don't know. That means we are not in the position to finally answer that how many people are there in the queue. Statement 2 alone is also not sufficient. But if I combine these two, we know that Billy's position from left hand side is 10 and Billy's positions from right hand side is 9. We are in a position to find how many people are there in the queue. Number of people in the queue is 10 plus 9 minus 1, that is 18. We can answer if we combine both the statements together. Let's see which option it is. Both statements together are sufficient to answer, but neither statement alone is sufficient. Mark on option C. Okay, another tabular representation from data interpretation. The table given contains the percentage marks obtained by 5 students. Percentage marks in 6 different subjects. So this is marks of A, Alex, Carol, Ben, David, Ethan. These are the percentage marks. Alex have scored 90% in English. That means actually Alex score is 90% of 150, that is 135. Determine the subject in which the overall percentage is the best of these 5 students given in the context. These are already percentages. These are not marks. If these would have been marks, we would have added up, divided by 5, then divided by 150 into 100 to get the percentage. But these are already percentages. It is given that these are percentage marks and not the actual marks. That means we just need to find for which of these subjects total is the maximum. That's it. 5501, 715, 22 and 931, this is 40. This is 5, 9, 16, 25, 30, 365 out. 150, 210, 150, 210, 250 and 340 out. 100, 180, 230, 295 out. 180 and 140, 320, 360 out. 9, 15, 24 and 16, 405. This is more than English. In computers, they have got the overall best percentage. Option C is the pick. Okay, another statement, assumption type. Because of the government rally in Connaught Place, reaching the airport on time has become very difficult. If I don't look at the assumption even, it is quite obvious that reaching the airport on time is an important factor. And government rally is in Connaught Place. That's why this commuter is facing difficulty because he's supposed to take that route through Connaught Place. Let's see what are the assumptions given. Based on the above statement, the following assumption has been made. It's not necessary to reach airport on time. It's not implicit. Reaching the airport on time, he is concerned. The statement, it's concerned about reaching the airport on time. That means it is necessary. There is no convenient path other than Connaught Place to reach airport. And that's why this difficulty is being raised. Because there is a rally at Connaught Place, they are not able to reach airport on time, or they are facing difficulty in reaching airport on time because there is no convenient path other than Connaught Place based on this assumption. This statement can be inferred or said. Statement or assumption 2 is implicit. Out of these two, option D is the pick. Okay, a line graph to follow. Number of males and number of females in blue and red is what I can see. The line graph given shows the number of male and female employees working in 5 different companies. Please give it a try. Let's see the question. What percentage of female employees work in company B? Company B, female employees 4,000. Out of the total number of female employees in 5 companies. So total number of female employees in 5 companies 3,000 plus 4,000, then company C is 1, company D is 2.5 and company E is 1.4. 3, 4, 8 and 11. 11.9, or like if I can round it to 12,000. So 4,000 by 12,000 is 1/3, that is 33%. We are looking out for the option which is near to 33%, is 33.61. Option D is 33.61%. That is our answer. Again, a question from data sufficiency. And it's all in the same set. I haven't developed this set by my own. These are the actual question asked in December drive, I guess. And these are the questions from set number 3, asked on that particular day. It was on 24th or 25th of December, I guess. On 24th or 26th, something. Ron is driving from Bangalore to Mangalore via the Mysore National Highway that has a speed limit of 80 km per hour. Which of the given statement is sufficient for you to determine if Ron exceeded the speed limit during the journey? That means we need the speed of Ron. Speed is equals to distance by time. Either we need the speed or we need distance and time so that we can calculate the speed. Statement 1 says Ron drove through the Mysore highway for 250 kilometers. That means D is only known. Still we don't have time known and we are not in the position to find the speed. Statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Statement 2 says he drove through the highway for 3 hours. That means in statement 2 T is given, but there is no D in statement 2. Statement 2 alone is not sufficient. Let us combine these two. If we take data from both, we have D and we have T. We can very easily find the speed of Ron over his journey. 3 hours, sorry. So whether it is greater than 80 or not, then accordingly we can answer. That means both the statements together are required to answer this question, where it is both statements together are sufficient to answer, but neither statement alone is sufficient. We'll mark on option E. Again, we have statement and assumptions. Statement says, which is an advertisement, use Asian paints to paint your homes. If I am saying something to this, so if I am saying someone that please use Asian paints to paint your home, obviously I have pre-assumed that that particular person want to paint his or her home. That's why I'm saying out of my curiosity that please use Asian paints if you want to paint your home. If you are painting your home, both suits in. That means I have already assumed that painting of houses may be necessary for them. People want to paint their house. Only Asian paints are used to paint that house? No, that is not implicit. There can be many others with which they can paint their house. But this assumption is implicit straight away that people want to paint their house. That's why the advertisement is use Asian paints to paint your homes. Only assumption 1 is implicit. Option B. Okay, another one from data interpretation, bar diagrams. In a college, 5 examinations are held periodically and a student X appeared for each of these exams. The maximum total mark in each exam is 500. The marks obtained by X in each exam is represented by the bar diagram given. The total number of marks obtained by X in Lev MST is 400, is what percent of the total marks obtained in MST1? In MST1, it is 486. We just need to find this. How much is 400 by 486? Obviously, it is more than 80%. And as we can see, all the options are in 80s. 243, 200. Let go 1 inch further and solve it. 248, 8, 3, 24, 2, 32, 34, 3, 1944. And so this is 560. 82. It should be 82 and there is only one option with 82. It is 82.31%. Option A is the pick. Remember, there is no calculator. We need to work it out. How quickly you can, it's all up to you. Okay, one more from data sufficiency. Yes, statement, yes, sufficient. Data sufficiency. Sam went to a shop to buy a pair of shoes for his mother without knowing her shoe size. He don't know the shoe size. Which of the given statement is sufficient to determine Sam's mother's shoe size? Obviously, call her and ask. Sorry. Statement 1 says, nobody in Sam's family wears a shoe of a size greater than 6, and the shoe size in the market ranges between 3 and 10. That means he have option of 3, 4, 5. Now you don't know what is his mother's shoe size. Statement 1 alone is not sufficient enough. Statement 2 says Sam's aunt has a shoe size of 5. But this is Sam's aunt's shoe size. Aunt's and his mother's shoe size, what is the relation? It's not given. That is, statement 2 alone is also not sufficient. Now, if I combine both the statement even, then also we don't have any relationship with the size of aunt's shoe size of aunt with his mother's shoe size. Both statements together also are not sufficient to answer the question. None of the statements are sufficient. Go with option A. Last one in this set, in section 1. Section 1 is reasoning ability, questions from data sufficiency, deductive logic, data interpretation, statement conclusion, statement argument type of questions are asked in section 1. 15 questions will be asked altogether, need to be answered in 25 minutes. We need to be accurate, we need to be fast. No workings as such are required, but a few calculations need to be required to be done in data interpretation maybe. Let's see this one. And let's end up this session with Rosie and Dairy Milk. Okay. So there are two statements. The first chocolate Rosie pulled from her purse is Dairy Milk. And all chocolates in Rosie's purse are Dairy Milk. If these two are known, which of these choices is or are true if the above statements are true? If these two are true, that means there is a purse, that is Rosie's purse, full of Dairy Milk chocolates. Only. All chocolates are only Dairy Milk. That's why when she picked up one, she get Dairy Milk. Let's see. Rosie likes Dairy Milk more than any other chocolates. Not necessarily. Today by chance there are only dairy milk in her purse. The other chocolate that Rosie will pull out of her purse will also be dairy milk. Yes, if she pull out another one, that will be also dairy milk. That is my choice till now. Let's read the other two statements. Chocolates are available only of the brand Dairy Milk. Rosie does not like any other chocolate than Dairy Milk. Not necessarily. Option B is the best pick here in the given scenario. So this was the set 3 reasoning abilities section 1 of Infosys Drive. We know that we have got 5 sections. Section 1 is reasoning ability, 15 questions on data interpretation, data sufficiency, data deductive logic, statement assumption, statement conclusion type questions. 15 questions need to be done in 25 minutes. On this note, I'm Mohit signing off from MJ's Maths and Stats. That's MJ Magic Studio to you. I'll see you soon. Stay connected and subscribe if you haven't subscribed it yet. Thank you everyone. I'll see you soon.